In an effort to remove an unstable variable from the equation and to save the soul of Garrick Brightscale, Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock, Asmo the Sneckman Fighter, Denier the Catman Wizard, and Nara the Drow Sorceress traveled to the Colossus Kuldara, and with coordination, in coordination with Yorick, Garrick's brother, and Theodora, the soul that inhabited the frame of Teewig, they managed to purge the great dreadworm Nidhogg of all of its corrupting power and restored Garrick Brightscale to a brilliant platinum-scaled dragon. While many questions still remain as to what this means for the sake of the world, it is clear that our heroes have found a great and powerful new ally in their efforts of maintaining order and balance throughout the world of Marmaria. As they prepare for their journey home, what will they find when they make it back to the streets of Silver Rock? So you awaken the following morning. As dawn crests, the lights of the radiant sun peeks in through the cave mouth, the cavern mouth that faces out towards the east. Nara being the one that needs the least amount of sleep and is the most susceptible to the lights is probably the first to recognize its glare.
Just hisses at it.
Still to this moment, as you awaken in the, I guess, fort of Garrick Brightscale, the temperature and atmosphere is still a lot calmer than it was when you arrived. That tremendous volcanic thunderstorm that had been radiating overhead for about as long as the dragon had inhabited this space is no longer there, with clear skies overhead now. And again, just the atmosphere feels less oppressive. Many of the lizard folk of the camp are hung over from last night's festivities, as well as a few of the armed guards and Kyum cadets that you brought with you in your caravan, which they are now currently reloading with many of the gifts that Garrick ordered be returned to the city, as the tribute that you were paying is no longer necessary. And in fact, you were all granted boons of your own to take with you on your journey back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you all have, like, fancy schmancy new stuff on you.
I got the pew-pew.
You got pew-pews. Yeah, you all decided to give Nara a necklace full of grenades, basically.
Hooray!
Now, I would argue this was a bad idea. We should have given
Hooray!
her
Shh! Hooray!
Don't worry about it.
Shut up! They're mine.
Yeah, as the caravan's getting packed up, you have time to go and, I guess, discuss and coordinate anything with the people that you're going to leave.
Asmo's still asleep. I imagine he just kind of snores like... and the tongue like unravels. Then he inhales, it re-ravels
Oh my
up.
god,
You know?
like a little party.
Like a little like one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Like an old like Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah.
Would anybody rouse to go find somebody to speak to? Or will you leave wordlessly? Find out now on Roll With Me.
I guess we'll probably go, or Nara would make her way to Garrick eventually.
Yeah, I think most of us would, right?
Yeah, rolling out of bed. As you kind of make your way down through the courtyard, through the various chambers of people setting up, you can clearly tell the difference between those who drank responsibly and those who didn't. Some of the lizard folk like just kind of passed out in the middle of the rocky courtyard, so to speak. The Rocky Johnsons. Still kind of like, some of them still kind of like sleeping on tables. But you make your way down and through, and you find Yorick and Garrick in Garrick's chamber. And they regard you as you enter. Garrick would be the first to speak. Good morning.
Good morning.
Many of your soldiers have already gathered up the gear that we had set aside that you had brought with you. I'd wanted to travel with you, but with everything as new as it is, it would be best if I stayed here to acquaint everyone with the new order, I guess, as we try to figure out exactly what that is.
That may be for the best, yeah.
Yorick would speak up. Indeed. But you're always welcome back here. And in the future, we will likely send envoy to discuss further relations.
Likewise, you're always welcome in Silver Rock.
Garrick nods. I may take you up on that. Is there anything else we can offer you for your journey back? Yorick would interject. We have meats and grains if you need any food for travel.
There are Arby's?
What?
They bring the meat.
I was like, it's going somewhere.
Yeah, it cut out on my end, so I'm like...
Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry.
If you need any travel rations, we have some to offer.
We're not particularly low on travel rations.
Not particularly, and from what you glean from the camp and just the overall structure of this place, what they would have to offer would probably be better served supplying the the small horde of lizard folk that they have living here.
Yeah, I think Wolfgang would just put it plainly. We're fine on food. I think that would be better served in your care.
Yorick nods. It's just hard. We feel as though we owe you a great debt for what you've done. But I guess that can be paid in time.
Like we've said, We were just helping out a friend.
Yorick smiles. And with that, Garrick would kind of make his way down towards you guys.
Know that you always have a place here. And that while it might take some time for this place to get back in shape, we'll be ready if you ever need us.
Good to hear it.
They bid you well on your journey as your people have finished essentially packing the caravan. Is there anywhere else you would like to visit before departing the Colossus Kuldara?
Asmo's gonna wake up and go. We don't actually have to have the conversation, but go make a goodbye to his friend.
To Garrick?
Yeah.
I'd say you would have probably been there with everybody while this was happening, and as everybody else is leaving, you would probably linger behind just to say a few things. As Wolfgang and everybody else kind of wandered off to double check that all the gear was set. I'm guessing Nara would pause a little, but acknowledge that you just wanted to speak with him alone for a little bit, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I'd let them do their thing.
Yorick just kind of looks between the two of you, and Garrick gives him a nod, and he runs off to go coordinate with and maybe impugn some of the more hungover lizard folk.
How's the new eye treating you?
Garrick says.
The what? Oh,
Asmo.
I'll be honest. It's gonna take me a while. It took me a while to adjust to not having it. It's gonna take me a while to adjust to having it again. But
Well, if you ever want to lose it again, maybe we can spar again sometime.
He kind of smiles wryly at you.
Though I think I have a bit of a size advantage now.
I'll have you know that you didn't take my eye. It was a scary lady, and no, it's not her. Asmo gestures over his thumb at Nara.
Nara
Her head snaps.
sneezes as she leaves.
Did you have to give her grenades? Did you have to give her the explosion? So those things explode. The balls, they explode, right?
I was just looking. I was just looking through my piles of stuff, and they looked pretty. I didn't really know what they did.
You don't know her fully, but I don't. It's fine. It's fine. Well, I just hope she knows not to use. Anyways, just know you got a place to stay in Silver Rock, seeing as how you're a silver dragon, and yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure all that out.
He says, kind of looking down at his scales.
I'm not sure if the new shade fits me. I mean, it's better than the red.
Better than being a corpse in the ground, to be fair.
Also true.
I just find it hilarious that between the two of us, you're now a silver dragon, and yet of the two of us, I'm the sheriff of Silver Rock. Starts laughing.
He's
I'm in charge of police force.
He just kind of smiles and shakes his head at that a bit. It's like,
how things have changed.
They have. You're under arrest.
He looks. His eyes just snap back up.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
For what?
Indecent exposure.
He looks down.
I guess, yeah.
Don't agree with him. You hear from the fucking across the room.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
get
don't
him!
care for this place anymore, just know that you have a secondary home at Silver Rock, and I would argue it fits more in tone with what you are now.
Well, as soon as you have a cell big enough for me, just let me know.
He smiles he says with kind of like that same wry smile. Like it's bizarre seeing that smile that you remember from his like dragonborn appearance, but on a much larger head.
Well, when you're all done here, better see you in Silver Rock.
I plan on making it one of my first stops.
Make a perch for you or something. Is that what would you want a perch? Is that something that's in your thing now you need?
Like a cat tree?
I wouldn't say no.
I always was curious.
I'm still figuring it out myself. Everything now just feels different. I mean, are these arms or legs? He says, kind of moving his front arms. He says, kind of moving his front claws.
Oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out. And don't worry, plenty of Dragonborn and lizards are going to find you desirable. You will find many people to help you figure out where you are now. Osmo just kind of winks with his new eye. Ow! Ow, that hurts still. Ha! Hey, you may have replaced the eye, but let's be honest here, I haven't really blinked with it in a long time, so the muscles are a bit...
I guess so.
Yeah, well. Either way, see you when I see you, okay?
See you around, Asmo.
And stop being possessed by weird spirits. That was annoying.
He just kind of like looks.
I'll do my best with that.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah, you should.
First time for anything, Garrick, as he's walking out of the room.
Real victim blaming shit going on here.
I know, it's a joke. It's a joke.
You're supposed to laugh.
The casualness of everything is to help with the change.
As you make your way down, everything seems to be loaded up. Wolfgang, Denier, you guys have been going through the caravan, making sure that everything's in place. The only things that obviously aren't coming back with you are the decanters filled with wine that have been consumed.
Wolfgang, if we wanted to make things a little bit simple, we could leave this chest of gems here since it's a material component for the chalk needed for setting up a teleportation circle.
And you think that'd work?
I mean, we're going to need, unless we want to make the chalk over in Silver Rock and bring it over here.
One of the Kyum wouldn't be cadet at this point, but like one of the Kyum members that you brought with you overhears and kind of steps forward. No, they're beyond that. These are like full blown members with like actual rank. They would step forward and just kind of like offer up services. Sir, if you would like, I could stay and oversee the manufacture of the gem chalk itself. Denier, you would recognize this person as one of the like they were also kind of a student of the wizarding college, the arcane college that you work at, that you run in Silver Rock.
Mm-hmm.
They have sort of like a magely background and decided to join up with the Kyum after finishing up their studies with you.
I imagine that quite a number of mages went directly to the Kyum after leaving the school.
Some do, some went out on their own to set up their own stuff. Some just didn't want to use their stuff for offensive or defensive purposes and just wanted to better hone their skills. But yeah, this is one of the ones that would have left the college and joined the Kyum. I could oversee the production and the
creation of the circle if you wanted to send others eventually. It would also provide us another set of eyes over here. If you'd be okay with that, sir.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's more excited about this than he should be?
Yeah, sure.
Oh man. Character sheet. Open. Where is it? Where is it? Let me in. There it is. Hey. A 12.
They aren't really trying to hide their feelings, but let's see what you can glean from them. They have, like, you know what? I'll actually give you advantage because Denier would have kind of known this person and might, like, kind of be able to fill you in on some of their background. So we'll take that 19.
Oh, right. The 19. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess we could also take that 20 foot.
But essentially, this person, they have an inquisitive nature to them, and after what just happened here, there are so many questions buzzing around their head that they probably still want to learn a bit more about the situation and, like, kind of see as it develops. They do have, like, knowledge in terms of manufacturing spell components out of whole raw materials, so they feel like they have a good basis for this request. But yeah, mostly their nature in this is very inquisitive, and they are probably more excited than usual, but only because of just the immense curiosity of everything that just happened here. Like, there is a new metallic dragon just out of nowhere.
Basically, this is the kind of shit that's going to appear in textbooks, and they want to be on the front line for it.
Yeah, this is their way of trying to be, you know, make their mark in history by being somebody that can document some of this stuff and be, like, essentially kind of setting themselves up as almost sort of a diplomat. So this is, like, one, kind of grabbing the brass bar, two, immensely curious. Like, there are a lot of factors that are going into this person wanting to be a part of this.
Fair enough.
And they feel like they have a skill set that them asking this would not be too far out of line, given that they are here right now and just overheard this conversation.
Wolfgang will look briefly over at Denier, a bit quizzically, and then he looks back over at this cadet. He'll nod.
I'm going to make up a name now. Ensign Quaggle.
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 I see. Quaggle, right?
Yes, sir.
I like your initiative. Make it so.
Hey.
The 2-year-old grind.
Not to mention, it's not exactly a bad idea to be able to give some of Garrick's forces a little bit of know-how from the Kyum itself.
Aye.
And further, I can better articulate communication from here as well, if ever message needs to be passed quickly.
Of course.
Thank you, sir. I won't let you down. And he, like, bows deeply. And starts to help unload the gems that are going to need to be used for the teleportation circle.
We may have one more thing we need to take care of, Wolfgang.
Yeah.
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 There's a certain
Yeah?
shadow nearby that we need
Yeah.
to talk to. And Daenerys will cast Sending to you.
To me.
Indeed.
To you.
All right. What do you say?
The message is, we're about to leave for Silver Rock. If you need a shadow to hide in until we get there, you're more than welcome. I intend to retrieve T-Wig.
You get a reply.
Have a safe journey. I don't know how you intend to, but I hope you can.
He glances over towards Wolfgang and shakes his head no.
I think he just sort of raises an eyebrow, not really understanding what's going on.
I was seeing if you wanted to come along with us.
Oh. He gets kind of a dour expression on his face. He's still not really sure how he feels about you.
You know, a thought occurs to me. He holds up a platinum coin and then looks back at the Koldara where Garrick is.
You
Then he
do
looks
this
back at
successfully.
Wolfgang. So, hear me out. Garrick is a platinum dragon, right?
Slowly narrowing his eyes as you continue explaining.
Imagine how... What's the words in common for this? There's the potentiality for, over time, a lot more platinum to be introduced into the economy.
Knowing what I know about Bahamut, would I know about the way that, well, obviously we knew about Needhog shaping the his surrounds over time.
Mhm.
Would I know that Bahamut is in fact the source of the platinum on Platinum Peak?
I feel like all of you who went up on that pilgrimage to the monastery would know that essentially what the platinum coins are, and any form of platinum metals they use in Dragon's Rest, are of the discarded scales, the shedded scales of the slumbering Bahamut.
Huh.
You actually saw the monks working on the various scales.
How long would that take, even?
I imagine it would take
And besides, I would think that the wealth and the boon from Garrick's own scales would be his first, right?
Oh, but of course. But at the same time, he's going to need supplies, resources in order to try to more well equip his forces, right?
I suppose.
And as it is, the only folks that he might be willing to trade with is us. And we have had a number of rather significant investments as of late. Well, I wonder if we can get an Arcano rail all the way out here.
Speaking of things that are a long time out.
Yeah, that's the thing about time. Time is weird, but it's also an illusion.
Wolfgang gets like
Also a construct.
a far off look when you bring up time.
Oh, it gets oh my dear Wolfgang, it gets so much worse.
I don't want to know. I think my own experiences with that will last me for a lifetime.
Hey,
Magical-
speaking of time stuff, wasn't there a whole issue with blood with this guy?
Did we tell him about the jester? I forget.
Probably not.
Well,
I don't think there was really time.
actually, last time we did this, you guys had a big conversation. The only thing you didn't let him in on is his lineage. You told him about the future and everything that happened.
Okay, so we told him that the Jester of Bordeaux has designs on him.
Yeah, had designs on
But
his
not
body.
why.
Wait.
I'll put it to you like this: there's no corruption for the Jester to sink onto anymore.
Yeah. Not even sure if it would work.
He has to have corruption inside of a person in order to try to grab onto them, which is why he had Denier blast Bahum to put that corruption into him to try to take him over.
Yeah, as it stands, at least from what you know of the ritual that the Jester was trying to perform in the future, what little you do know of it, the mechanisms, as Denier said, the anchor point for which it would be able to attach its consciousness is no longer a part of Garrick, so...
I think Wolfgang would scratch his chin then and look up. I don't even know if the Jester's plan would work at this point. Garrick is so suffused with holy power now, I think any attempts at corrupting him would be thwarted immediately. The power, that holy power that runs through our veins, is anathema to the power of the crystals, so... Or was that not what you were referring
...
Ellipses.
Caitlin said something, but I believe she cut out enough where we didn't hear most of it.
Did that happen?
Yeah, sorry. You all popped out for a second.
Oh, no.
Oh shit.
My signal's been iffy this whole session, admittedly.
What's the last thing you heard?
Anathema?
Oh. Wolfgang said that basically the holy power that was running through both Wolfgang and Garrick is like the bane of the power of the crystals.
Yes.
So
Yes,
any
yes.
corruption
Okay.
attempts would basically be thwarted.
Great.
And then he's asked, or was that not what you were referring to?
No, it super is.
Ah.
Nar's like,
Cool. So not an issue?
He looks to Denier once again, briefly, but then he looks back. Don't think so.
shrugs, starts walking to the exit, waves behind her, like, okay, I'm out.
The lieutenant at the head
Yeah,
of the
to
caravan.
be totally honest,
Oh, sorry.
Denier speaks up. Yeah, to be totally honest with you, I'm more likely to be taken than Garrick at this point.
Well, don't say yet.
The lieutenant at the head of the caravan would let you know that everything is all accounted for and loaded up, and everybody's ready to travel, Wolfgang.
All right.
And thus you begin your journey back?
Dun, dun,
I believe
dun,
so.
Dun, 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 dun.
All
I
right.
already talked to Bordiche,
Damn.
so I don't...
Wagons east.
Yeah.
Yep, you begin making your way. The way back is pretty uneventful unless there's any direction you wish to travel that you hadn't previously.
I don't think we would have time to take the scenic route or anything like that.
Yeah, so you take a direct route. You load up on a bit of like food and just kind of like traveling, like marching supplies and Fallwood Barrow. Trade off some of the cattle that you still had with you to local farmers for some goods, maybe some like lumber to bring back with you to Silver Rock. Just try to make the trip, try to make the most of the trip with the supplies you have, since these cattle weren't expected back, and some people are aware of like what supplies are needed where, and Fallwood Barrow is where you gather a good chunk of your lumber. They're very strong and resilient trees, being so close to the home of the god of nature and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, the journey back takes about, 2 days on a full day's march. As you approach the gates of Silver Rock, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the volcano sounds because you're no longer there. It's silly.
Oh.
Volcano doesn't follow you that far.
Them.
But as you approach the...
Never mind.
Oh, are you not hearing the...
Yeah, I didn't hear any of the...
Yeah, roll 20 is weird for me sometimes, too. Luckily, it's coming through on my end, so...
Okay.
Can you hear the city sounds that are being played?
No.
Refreshing sometimes helps on that.
Can the chat hear it though? That's what's most important.
Yeah, they can hear.
Yes.
No,
They can hear it because I can hear it.
Come.
As you make it back to the streets of Silver Rock, the opening gates, you're welcome back. There are many people who kind of like gather, just kind of just excited for the arrival of the caravan. Looking ultimately no worse for wear, if a little travel worn. Lots of people just kind of gathering, looking. But as you travel, there is a weird energy to the air as you're traveling. Like the streets aren't as teeming with people. And as soon as you get to the gates themselves, a soldier would approach. Sir, ma'am, good to have you back.
What is it?
Where's the fire?
Well, luckily they've ostensibly been put out.
There was a fire? Oh,
Oh,
Not
fuck.
literally. Well, kind of, but not.
What? Yo, I'm the Batman!
All right, slow down.
Okay. There were monsters in the sewer.
Oh, for bloody
Oh
sake.
shit.
Excuse me. Yeah.
This is just one of the city guards, right? He's not a member of the Kyum Diaboli.
Yeah, just one of the city
Where's
guards, the
Earth?
gate guards, who was.
What do they look like?
Well, I didn't see them myself, but reports stated that there were different kinds coming from various directions. They're still trying to figure out everything, but some of them had multiple heads.
Oh, fuck.
Some of them were small, some of them were bigger. One of them made it to the city streets. Just here, and they begin to kind of like lead you towards an area just kind of off the center of town, where it does look like there's been some like kind of broken cobblestones in the streets, and it looks like a small but controlled battle took place here. Some walls of some nearby buildings are currently being repaired of damage. Looks like it busted the windows of a couple of street-side shops. This creature itself had three heads. One that looked kind of like a goat, one that looked like a big cat, and one that was kind of lizard-like. It spat a bit of fire, and he points over to the side where you can see that by the cracked wall there's a bit of scorching on the stone. But the Kyum was able to take care of it relatively quickly, and no citizens were injured, luckily.
Does this sound familiar to Nara?
That particular creature? Would you like to... One of these is the correct answer. You can either roll me an Arcana check or a Nature check.
I'm gonna go with Arcana.
Yeah, because this I have no
11?
idea. This is something Wolfgang should be rolling for. He knows his monsters.
Yeah, you don't know what, like, a three-headed creature... It's not really ringing a bell.
Okay. Okay.
Especially one with three different animals like that.
One sec. Right back.
Asshole asks the guard, "Where is Earth? Last location."
He's at the constabulary, sir. Keeping order. Also, he's watching over somebody who claims to have information, but he'll only talk to somebody known as the Night Angel.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the last part, Nick? You cut out a little bit. There's like some guy called the Night Angel.
He said, well, there's a person, an informant there. He said he'd only talk to somebody that's called the Night Angel.
Do I know that name?
Have there been any rumors about a Night Angel?
Wolfgang and Asmo, this would have been reported to both of you, but that is a common name that many of the people in the poorer districts refer to as, like, that's what they call Nara.
Oh,
I think.
Well, she's be right back right now, so we'll have to wait.
I know, I'm just filling in. I can't help when the information comes up.
I think Wolfgang would just go, "Oh." Oh.
Nara stands there blankly.
Lenny, while that's going on, can I make an Arcana check about everything, that the description of the attackers, so on and so forth?
Yeah, the creature that was described, the type of damage that you see around the area. The body itself has clearly been moved, but go ahead.
That's a 20.
It's absolutely an artificial creature. Something that would had to have been made by some sort of transmutation magic, alteration, possibly enchantment. One that would typically be known as a chimera.
Yeah, you got yourself, you had yourself a chimera. Those things aren't natural. They're
One
man-made.
giant chimera with multiple heads or multiple smaller chimeras?
I don't really know, sir. I haven't been in the sewers, but there's reports of a number of creatures down there.
Nara has been shifting her eyes back and forth in the back,
and-
trying not to look too suspicious.
Yeah, and by the way, you did hear that there is somebody waiting at this constabulary that would only talk to somebody known as the Night Angel.
Hey guys, while you're figuring this out, I think I'm gonna go to the constabulary and maybe see if they'll talk to me. Maybe possible.
Oh, whatever for.
Reasons? It's me, I'm the Night Angel.
We know.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we've known for a while.
What? But I thought I was so secret.
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Wolfgang has an on-boo.
Fine.
It's true.
Let's go and figure it out.
She crosses her arm and trudges towards the constabulary.
As you make your way further into the center of town, again, the streets do seem like thinner of people. Just there seems to be a level in which they are on edge due to the fact that a massive goat lion lizard just made its way out from beneath their feet. So the people that are in the streets actually do seem to be traveling with sidearms of some description. Some of them with swords, some of them walking with like kind of like maces at their sides. It's like everybody just kind of has this more militant, guarded attitude about them right now.
Boy, it sure is a good thing that the guards got extra training via dreams a while back, huh?
It is. Them and the Kyum being able to learn how to fight various creatures, even though, like, Chimera isn't one in particular that you would have been able to train them against, as they are rarely encountered.
There's kind of a way to deliver that.
I mean, they are not a common thing. It's like, you know, it requires somebody with the know-how to blend these creatures together in a magical way to create this monstrosity. Anybody traveling through the streets can give me a perception check if they would like.
Oh, yeah. 23.
21. I'm sure Connor is very happy.
16.
Yeah.
All right, Wolfgang, what you pick up is these people who are on guard, you're picking up on the fact that, like, many of them are wielding more weaponry, some of which, like, a lot of them seem to be, like, newly purchased as well. Like, so the smithies around town are probably doing some good money right now. Nara and Denier, you happen to overhear some people just kind of like those that are like talking and discussing things. Some of them are blaming these freak animal attacks on the fact that you now have weird animal people living in and just outside of town. Some believing that can't be a coincidence. So there is anti-skinwalker sentiment now kind of billowing up in your town as well.
As they're passing, Denier will make direct eye contact with one of those people.
I think Wolfgang would aggressively nip that in the bud.
You do not hear this.
Oh.
Just Denier and Nara.
Yeah. Wolfgang, you're just walking around. Ooh, nice mace.
Oh, God. It was so fucking hot in that volcano.
But yeah, Denier,
Nara would nip that in the bud, though.
It's just these two people just talking to, like, one looks to be just yeah, it's kind of like in a street side shop. They're buying and selling like just haggling over stuff and just having like general conversation that they're talking about, like, yeah, those fucking animal freaks, and then you got things burrowing out from under the streets. Can't be coincidence.
Oh, it's definitely not that.
How would you know? Were you here?
What?
Bruh.
Is that a real question, buddy?
I say it's a bit of a question. I mean, you come strolling in,
Yeah.
and you're bringing these creatures with you, and then all of a sudden we got animals digging their way out under the streets,
So.
and you're nowhere to be seen during it all.
Right. You.
She puts a hand on Danir's shoulder, like,
What do I do when people are showing their ignorance? I know it can't be violence. I want it to be violence, but it can't be that. So what do I do,
Can't be
Danir?
the default.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
Roll intimidation.
13.
Violence? You come in, you said... How dare you?
How dare I?
How dare you? I'm worried about my family's safety. People are dying. People are getting attacked by monsters crawling out from under our goddamn feet. And you're telling me I'm ignorant?
Because you're making assumptions about things. Are you going to go into the sewers and find out what they are?
I
No,
damn
you
sure
mean what
rather
we're
not.
doing.
That's your damn job. You're
yes,
supposed to
gonna
be
go
keeping
do that
these
right
people
now.
safe.
If only you knew half the things that are happening in this world right now. You wouldn't say such foolish things.
Well, you've effectively upset this person and further turned them against your cause.
Wonder
Fine
what
with
Nara
me.
and that random man are talking about.
At this point, you probably picked up on the conversation since they would have stopped and started talking. But
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
yeah. Got real distracted here. Wolfgang, if Nara sees Wolfgang, she's gonna go,
Your problem now, you're the diplomat.
and she leaves.
Oh. What's the problem?
She's gone. She's just going straight to the constabulatory.
They think
the
that
bleeding monsters coming up from under our feet is the problem, and I think it's got something to do with the people that you brought in with you. Then what's that turns into the monsters themselves?
Alright. I'm about to teach you a lesson about lycanthropes.
I don't need to like them.
it's
Wolfgang
it's
just
the actual
stares
term
at
for
him
their
and-
condition.
He stares at him and then smiles. And then pulls out the book and gives him a full fucking lecture.
You know what? Danir will help Wolfgang out by using minor image to give pictures with his lecture.
Go ahead, give me persuasion with advantage.
The curse is
Wow.
transmuted via spittlin. Persuasion with advantage, right?
I mean, well, Danir is helping, and you have the most knowledge of these creatures as anybody outside of the tribe themselves.
A lot of people might think the claws are a vessel for transferring the curse as well, but that's actually not true.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hang on, I got another
22.
one.
That looks pretty
Or-
okay.
Hooey. 22 though.
Yeah, I think we'll go with the 22.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably so.
So you give these two gentlemen a long and thorough talking to about how lycanthropy works, the fact that there are ostensibly those that can control it, like those that learn to control it, and those that like kind of go wild with it, and the nature of the creature that happened to attack, and how vastly different those things are. And it seems like you at the very least have informed him of how the two things aren't necessarily connected directly. how one is not the cause of the other. And while he still might have misgivings about the creatures themselves, and now knowing that they have what could essentially be an infectious disease that turns other people into these creatures, maybe some other in-baked prejudices, but he is now aware that what is currently going on beneath their feet is not a direct correlation to the tribe of skinwalkers that are currently harbored in and nearby your town. Asmo, what would you have been doing while this was happening?
Oh, Asmo left like 5 minutes ago.
Asmo ain't got time. Would you have gone with Nara?
Oh, I don't think Asmo
got
would have
grenades.
let Nara go.
She's got grenades.
Yeah, she's got grenades and she's walking to your place of business.
Yeah. A lot can happen, you know.
With grenades.
All right, so you two make your way to the constabulary. You find Urf inside, who is currently coordinating with a lot of people, just trying to keep peace and setting up various patrols to make sure that any other main entrances to the sewers are covered. Urf! You can see him just like filling out paperwork. There, like he's beaded with sweat. Kind of like rubs his temples as you walk in. He looks up and sees you. Urf!
Now!
He kind of like gives you a salute. Urf! Lays back in his chair.
He just goes to sleep.
Yep.
All right. Asmo's gonna look at the paperwork, essentially what he's been writing down.
The orders that he's been submitting, essentially what I kind of just described. You can see that there's like a big map of the city streets on the wall, various sections marked off for different squads and precincts where various patrol routes have been set up, various stationing posts near known like cisterns and thinner sewer walls. Quite a few of which are kind of around the Kyum Diaboli and the Noble District. Specifically, you know this because when you went to assassinate Kench, that was your ingress to his manor, was through the sewers.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, Asmo's gonna take these and just look at Nara. All right. Got the information.
Yeah,
She stares at you blankly like, I don't care.
I'm aware. Do you want me to explain it to you, or you just want to follow me?
Yeah,
Where are we going?
Back to Wolfgang. I found out where the things are going, where they are, and we can blame Wolfgang. It looks like it's associated with him.
Yeah, you also found a number of like incident reports. Apparently, the body of the creature has been taken to the Kyum Diaboli to be studied. Like the one that made it to the city streets. Some of the other creatures have been taken to the Arcane Academy to be studied, like those that are of different nature. There are a few different creatures kind of described. One is the Chimera that was described earlier. Another one seems to be like what appears to be like a giant mosquito-like creature. A few of those about a little larger than about the size of a hippo.
Nara, look, there's pictures.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Okay, come on. Follow me where the pictures are going. Come on.
And
he's like holding them up and walking forward, and she's like only following him because she's seeing the pictures.
And another essentially officer would approach, knowing that you're here now, Asmo. Sir, are you here about the witness that came forward?
What witness?
The one that will only talk to the Night Angel? I don't know.
Oh, okay. God, yeah. Okay, where is that person?
We have them being held back this way. They're...
Nara, hand me the grenades. Hand me the explosives.
Oh, I won't use them. I promise.
I
I
will
just
give
won't hold
them
on to
back
it.
to
I'll
you
hold
when
on
you're
to
done
them. It's
talking to the
fine.
person.
She
No.
runs in. She tries to run past.
Asmo, are you going to try to snatch them?
Yes.
Athletics versus either acrobatics or athletics.
First roll of the day.
Or athletics.
Is to take away her
Acrobatics it
explosives.
is. 22 natural 20, baby!
All right, Asmo.
They're mine.
Athletics.
Ha! Oh,
Damn it.
sorry, that was loud.
She slips your grasp and manages to get.
I
A
know
door
all of
between
his
the two
moves
you.
at this point.
Mm-hmm. And his newly found depth perception did not help.
Yeah, it's true.
Nara, as you slip past Asmo, kind of like you have what is essentially like a very small, heavy rain chase sequence where you're just kind of like slipping between people, and Asmo's just kind of getting caught behind them.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Trips somebody up, papers fly in the air, runs through I don't know, just all that bullshit. And you make your way back to the holding area where you see a familiar face.
What is his name again?
I don't think I ever gave him one.
You did.
Did I?
It was... Yeah, you did.
Then it would be in your notes.
It would be in my notes. Oh,
So I'm going to
Lord,
say
what
I
do we
didn't give
name-
him a name. 'Cause
You super did.
I really don't think I did. I think I
It
only
was
ever told you
Go
what his name
Away
wasn't.
Dust.
Yeah, he had the go away.
Yager. Y-O-G-G-R.
I'll take your word for it. Yager.
I said meets Yager, gives him money, get the go away dusts, and he becomes like a faithful aide for her because she changed his life.
Alrighty.
Oh, there you are. I've been waiting. I saw this stuff, but then I remembered I didn't know how to write, so I just kept memorizing, and I had to wait.
Oh boy. Are you okay?
I think so. I went into the sewers like you wanted to see what was going on and to try and get some money. And, well, they're doing weird things to people down there, and I didn't like it.
Doing weird things to people?
Yeah, and rats and other animals and stuff.
Oh no. Who is they?
Well, I mean, they were really short, and like they wore hoods, so like you couldn't see their face very good, but they had these voices. They were like really scratchy, and they talk like they all kind of talk the same. I'm not doing a really good. I'm
They
not
all
good
talked the same?
yeah, I mean, to me it sounded like that, and they were like doing stuff to people's minds and making them just go and do things, which is why I think people were forgetting. But I just ran before that, and I was being chased by things, and then I saw the three-headed thing with like the big cat. It chased me real good, and I think I lost it, but then I heard it died on the streets.
Okay.
And
So people in hoods, same voices. You were chased, you ran away. They've been messing with people's minds.
yeah, like some people, they were like having them dig.
You
And
were having them dig?
yeah, like with old mining stuff. And others, they made them go and basically take pots of things from one area and carry them and move them to other areas. I don't know what they were doing with this stuff, but I know that everybody that goes down there doesn't really remember what happens, and those that return, they don't say much, and
Lots of things. Did it sound like there was water inside?
I didn't really listen too good to... I mean, it was sewer, so I wasn't gonna drink it, you know?
Right. How big were the pots? Do you
Well,
remember?
He kind of like holds out his arms, kind of holds his hands about as far apart as like, kind of miming where the rim of the jug would be, about the size of like a medicine ball
Okay.
or like a basketball. And then he like kind of like moves his hands up and down to maybe about a foot to a foot and a half high. So probably like a couple, like a gallon and a half cask, maybe 2-gallon casks.
It didn't really stick around, and the only things...
Gonna give him a roll for something. Well, that's a nat 1, so he doesn't remember that.
I don't know, everything got kind of foggy when I was down there, and...
Foggy?
Yeah, like whatever they were doing to everybody else, they were doing to me too. So I ran, and I tried to remember as much as I can. I didn't get paid either. Probably because I didn't do what they wanted.
Right. 'Cause you left. I'll make sure you get paid.
Really?
Yeah.
She looks around for Wolfgang and Denier like, are they here yet? Oh yeah, I kind of.
No, they're giving a lecture right now.
Yeah.
Furthermore, taps a whiteboard. And that's why you're a racist piece of shit.
Whatever they're doing
sounded-
down there is it's not good. I don't think.
And it sounded like they all had the same voice and their scratchy voices.
It's almost like they were like when they were talking to each other, like it's like they were whispering, but it sounded like fingernails scratching on stone.
He says as he's kind of like miming, like he says as he starts to kind of like scratch at the rocky walls around him, and you just kind of hear the skit, skitter, 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 skit, skitter, skitter, skitter of his fingernails against the rocks.
Does any of this sound familiar? In any way, shape, or form?
No.
Fudge. Because of course the only things that come to mind for mind control are Blinky and the Illithids.
I don't like that it might be Illithids. Those guys can suck
Those guys. Oh well.
brains out of people.
Yes, yes, yes. Uh,
So wait, did you see anyone you recognized down there?
I mean, people I see on the street, you know, like some of the guys that told me about the work down there were there. And I think that was maybe like their third or fourth time doing it. And they never disappeared, so I figured it was a safe way to earn $1 or $2. I mean, a bronze or... it was a safe way to earn money.
So that... You said you saw them doing things to people and rats. What all do you remember about that?
Well, like, they had these cages, or people with animals in cages. They brought them down there and they paid them for them. I don't know what they were doing, but clearly they were doing something. And I figured it wasn't good, but I didn't stick around very long. I feel like if I did, I wouldn't be able to talk about it, you know?
Yeah. No, you did good, Yager.
I did good. Are they gonna...
Please don't tell me I got rid of that.
Are they gonna come looking for me? You think?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's good.
Were you being chased when you left?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That's not as good.
I'm glad it's done now that... Wait, what?
Yeah, they might, though.
Oh.
Maybe we should have you stay at the, with the Kyum or with the wizards for a bit. Maybe with the Kyum. That makes sense. Wolfgang's not here to decide, so I just will.
Okay. They got beds?
Yeah, yes, they have beds and food.
Food? Oh, wow.
Yeah. For now, I'd say,
She looks over her shoulder. Asmo's probably here by now.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's caught up by now.
I mean, he's just not interrupting.
So, you think it'd be better for him to stay at the Kyum? Because he's definitely a target at this point.
I am?
Well, don't say target. Say it better, like, you know, like something usable, like bait.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but you've already given the information to us, you know, so it's less troublesome for you at this point because we know now.
Right.
So, yeah. I'd just like to keep you safe just in case, you know? Just looking out.
All right.
Like
so
I do.
Escort him there.
To the Kyum?
Yep.
Cool. So, save it, it was Wolfgang's decision.
Exactly.
They nod and smile at each other like, yes, this will be Wolfgang's problem.
Always is.
Should he stay here for just a bit longer so Wolfgang and Denier can talk to him, or nah?
No, we'll take him to... They're going to be at the Kyum, too.
Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Wolfgang pauses mid-lecture. I feel like something just became my problem.
That happens
you get that
about
too?
10 times a day.
And as that realization crests over you, and you finish off your lecture, we will rejoin our heroes as they meet at the Kyum Diaboli after a quick break. Wolfgang Denier, after finishing your lecture, you continue to make your way back to the center of town, back towards the Kyum Diaboli, where no doubt you will find more information on everything that's been going on. As you make it to the gates of the Kyum, you can see that Asmo and Nara and a mysterious third person are currently being greeted by the ensigns standing guard outside. And as they notice you approaching from behind them, one of them will salute appropriately, joined by the second one who was addressing Nara and Asmo. And their mysterious third. Sir, welcome back.
No,
Wolfgang nods.
Master Pogan and Lady Talia are waiting inside. They've been cleaning stuff up, but no doubt they'd love to speak with you.
All right, let's get to it then.
You march up alongside Nara and Asmo and their mysterious guest. He's a meek-looking, sort of like raggedy man who looks like he could either be in his 40s or in his 20s, but incredibly malnourished.
Are you talking to Wolfgang?
I'm simply describing the person you are traveling with.
Nara, have you been adopting strays again?
What? No.
No, I'm not a stray. I'm bait. Right?
Nara smiles
Squints.
feebly.
Yeah.
Nara,
not
what is he
illegal.
bait for?
I'm not saying anything. Don't
Nothing.
even get me started.
He's so Yager is a dear friend of mine, and we've been through a lot together, right, Yager? She's still nodding her head as she speaks and nods at Yager like, nod with me.
Yeah.
And so he was going into the sewers to see, because there was some stuff going on down there that seemed like it could be a problem, and so he went down there to check it out for me, and there was some bad stuff going on. And then now chimeras are in the streets.
I got chased by an angry goat cat.
Nara smiles with that look of like, I am not in trouble, do not tell me I am.
Oh, and the hissy guys, the clicky people.
Yes. Yeah, there's people that talk like nails on stone. They're short and they wear hoods. And they're messing with people's minds. But they're not the squid faces.
What's a squid face?
Don't worry about that.
Really
Okay.
don't worry about it.
I hope we don't have to worry about it.
If they're messing with people's minds, you have my attention.
Does it, just based off of their description, would this sound like any sort of monster that I've dealt with in the past?
The Chimera?
No, the short people that are, that are messing with people's minds.
Probably not, I'm going to say, just given the nature of the
Okay.
world.
Fair enough.
I'm going to give
Is
Yager
there-
a quick thing to roll. He is blissfully unaware of who the fuck you are, Wolfgang.
Is there anything that I've perceived
bloody
through
lord of
my
the
time in the
Silver
tree?
Rock.
In the
This
back
is
of your
bullshit.
mind, this guy is not addressing you as such. He knows that you're dressed fancy, but everybody's dressed fancier than him, so that doesn't mean much. And he would never put two and two together that the lord of the town would even address him or be around him. Sorry, what were you saying, Denier?
Given the fact that I've seen a lot of different timelines and a lot of different various events, does this sound like anything that I may have seen or perceived at any point?
Possibly. Actually. 1 second. Go ahead and roll me. Let's see. This would probably be history for you. This is the wrong book.
What is it that you might need me to roll?
History.
Okay. I did not hear you the first time.
Yeah, sorry. I'm moving around looking for the book that I need for this.
That's a 26.
That's a very
Oh my.
good roll. Then you might know what these creatures are. Give me a second.
Oi.
The creatures described appear to be... Hold on a second. From the various histories and worlds that you had seen, they appear to be of the Yugoloth family of fiends.
Oh.
From the one more time.
Yugoloth family.
Yugoloth?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, goody.
Yugoloth family.
There are many
And they're-
different types, but the way that they were described to you just now seems to fit at least one or two varietals of those that in times of discretion might have found their way into various areas to do similar unsettling things.
Yeah, I've heard of these things before. They are not good.
What are they?
We've got a demon. They're demons. They're from a group of They're from a group that are known as Yugoloths. They like to settle. They like to cause a lot of unrest. I imagine that they're here to sow chaos.
We'd be friends.
How do you know so much about them?
I was up in a tree for 5 years.
Nara actually looks at him kind of incredulously, like,
Really? He was alone for 5 years. What else do you do but read?
I am just now hearing of this strange new variety of demon. Just now.
And I will go through and I will give various images of the various types of Yugoloths that I have seen.
I'm getting lectured now.
They appear to have a hierarchy of sorts. Those of a higher caste seeming to control those of a lower caste. You see one that has kind of like the shapings of sort of like a humanoid fox. One that unfortunately does resemble the shape and features of an illithid minus the squid-like tentacles. And some that look a little bit more insectoid that have like 4 arms. At this... 1 second.
Asmo has placed down
Jesus
the...
Christ. Okay, it's another nat 1, never mind.
reports, by the way.
One that looks almost kind of like gargoylean in feature. Seems to have like just a very sort of like bulky, rotund body with a pair of wings at its back. Seems to have like more muscle as opposed to the other ones that are a bit sleeker. Of those that you were able to kind of like show a lineup for, your companion here doesn't seem to react to any one of them in a particular fashion.
okay. So we're still not quite sure what we're looking at. Or what we've got in down in the sewers, rather.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is not good.
Doesn't sound like it.
And it looks like it's focused on the Kyum Diaboli based on the papers that Earth was writing before he had his nap.
No, that's just where the bodies of the creatures were moved.
Well, at
And-
least the bodies where they're moved. Well, at least the bodies where they've been moved.
Yeah, the like the papers that you have show that there are currently patrols set up around like the main sewer ingress points around this area, though. And yeah, there is a notable not military force, but there are more armed guards around this place than usual, specifically around areas that happen to have access to the sewers, as this area is essentially the center of town and where a lot of stuff flows to and from.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you make your way into the Kyum. There's a buzz of activity, but you guys are guided back to what you, Wolfgang, would know as basically the essentially biology lab, where on a very large slab there lays that three-headed chimera with a almost pseudo-draconic head. Looks almost like wyvern-like. Like the head of a big cat and the head of a what appears to be a ram. It's currently being dissected and looked through. And in here you also see like Talia and Pogan kind of like hushed whisper, like talking to each other as there's a lot of like essentially studying going on in here, and they notice as you walk in.
Oh, there you are. I tell you, you have missed a hell of a day.
I go out on one diplomatic mission and the city suddenly goes to hell.
Am I to
Here
assume
we got
it-
chimera problems.
to say the least. Am I at least to assume your mission was a success, given you're here and not roasted?
A resounding one. But that's a tale for another time.
Will have to be filled in. We got problems beneath our feet. We got
So I heard.
people patrolling the sewers in squads trying to find what they can find.
Mind control stuff. Could be a problem.
We have cadets trained for that. And we aren't even sending cadets down there. Officers, scouts. Those with in-depth field training.
Convenient.
Denier, does your dream training cover you, Loths, as well?
No. The previous training that I had, well, the previous training that they were receiving was based on other experiences. But I can supplement and add additional training to the Kyum.
Probably make it so.
We're gonna definitely need it if we're dealing with Loths.
Yugoloths,
We're dealing with
sir? Talia would
Apparently
interject.
Apparently they're a new type of fiend, neither demon nor devil.
Well, add that to the list, she says, as she looks to one of the many, like one of the, I guess, techs who are running around, basically taking notes on the creature that has been slain here.
I'll create a dossier from what I've been able to piece together and what I've learned of these creatures in my time, and I'll get it submitted to Poged ASAP.
Appreciate it.
The dwarf says. From what my people have gathered, the sewers themselves, a portion of them have been carved out to a connecting cave main. They think that perhaps some things are being smuggled in or out that way, or perhaps they're using it as a way to funnel in other creatures from the outside.
Is there like a map or like a battle plans for this situation?
Talia would tell you that there is, but it wouldn't be in this room, which is currently being festooned with various bits of monster matter.
Very new.
Yeah, people are weighing the various organs of this creature as it's being dissected, checking the density of its bones, which part of the creature is, is this the arm bone of a lion? Is this the arm bone of a lizard? Just real trying to figure out how, like, what this the composition of this chimera. We can move this to your office if you'd like, sir. We were just following up on, well, the latest incident, and she gestures back to the chimera.
That looks like the thing that was chasing me.
Yeah. Thankfully, you don't have to worry about this one in particular anymore.
It's good.
Who is this? Talia will point.
A witness.
Yager.
Hi. I'm Yager.
You could probably use some training, Talia.
Survival.
She looks at him.
Survival training.
This man, like, it looks like if you grabbed his forearm and yanked, you'd probably break something. Like, he is anemic looking.
Yeah. And she looks at Talia like, you got it, right?
No.
What? But
I need a starting point. This is.
I'm bait.
Yeah, no. No.
we'll feed him first, all right?
Just get him to do some push-ups. And
Push-ups, sit-ups, and plenty of juice.
Pogan and Talia would eventually kind of move this meeting to your office to be a little bit more away from, or actually probably just probably to your office, as it is the safest room in the building.
Mm.
As I
We do
lower one
this.
down. Yes. As I was saying, it seems as though they are burrowing in some directions. Their entire goal is as of yet unclear. But if these are fiends, I think it's time we bring in the one that we know about. And she looks to you, Denier. How much do you know of the Thurbian Haslafar?
He basically, Denier goes through a laundry list of what he has learned about Thermian, both in the aspect of how he is personally, along with what Denier has learned about him being a Rakshasa, as well as, he basically goes along a full psychological profile if he needs to.
The psychological profile. I'm curious how Denier sees him. At least now, as he is.
He is something that Denier could have been at one point. There's a wariness to him, but he also sees Thermian. He still has those memories from Dreamwalker, so there is still some sliver of a fondness for him. There's a potential asset in play. He's still willing to work with to try to sway Thermian back to their side instead of immediately deal with the threat. There's still He's friendly until proven otherwise, basically. And that's saying that's saying quite a bit, given how Denier generally feels about demons and devil.
Given the nature of this threat,
Pogan would interject.
if it is demonic in nature, I believe it would be our best interest to keep him confined. If he is in any way involved, it would be best to have him under wraps.
From your
I don't
experience,
think
Denier,
that-
dude. Oh, sounds like you were getting
Go
ahead
ahead,
of me.
Connor.
No, it sounds like you were about ready to explain. I was going to ask, do demons and Yugoloths work together?
Lani, I would know that Yugoloths tend to work both sides of the spectrum, correct?
They do tend to favor their own goals, but they do still follow kind of a hierarchy of sorts. So, really, without knowing what is going on down there, or what their be-all end-all actual goals are, it's hard to say whether they are, agents of chaos just doing something for the sake of it, or if they are down there executing the orders of a higher power, or if they are doing chaos for the sake of chaos, but at the behest of a higher power. There's a lot of questions here.
There's a lot of things going on whenever it comes to Loths. There's always a hierarchy in play. They don't serve one side or the other, but they'll sometimes... He basically explains the process of it. But Thermion, I don't think that he's associated with any of this, to be completely honest with you. He's simply here because the people up north are scared, and they're wanting to keep an eye on things down here. He wasn't even sent by Ramses. Somebody else sent him down. Ramses was the one that basically tipped us off that he was here to begin with. But thus far, he's been serving very efficiently in the college. And he runs down basically what Thermion does for the college in and of itself.
Yeah, essentially what you gather from Denier's intel is that Thermion's loyalty, first and foremost, lies in the people, the arcane innate themselves. The well-being of the sorcerer people. As long as they are taken care of and happy, that appears to be his number one priority. As far as allegiances go beyond that, still kind of nebulous. I mean, obviously he clearly has ties to Ramses and them, but as far as how much of that is within his free will is hard to say. But he appears to, at the very least, be on the side of the people, so to speak.
A Rakshasa can be a very beneficial ally, but they can also be a very dangerous foe. Magic is... At least Thermion has... The way that he's portrayed himself is magic has a difficult time affecting him if he doesn't want it to affect him. And I've seen this in other timelines. If in some timelines where I have succumbed to Ramses, I usually become a Rakshasa myself.
That brings up many questions, says Talia, but I suppose we can address those later.
I know Thermion was a great benefit to that murder investigation a while back.
I still don't understand how he's able to detect surges as they're happening, but he is exceedingly useful.
Well, I'll err to your judgment. But I've got my eye on him at least.
Oh, by all means, please keep both of them on him.
Pogan nods and just kind of like solemnly sits and awaits any further like reports. In the meanwhile, I'll continue to have my people search the sewers, see what they can find. You. And she points to why do I keep forgetting? God damn it, I'm so
Yager.
Yager.
Points to Yager.
It's like yogurt.
Or Poggers.
Or Jogger, but with a Y.
Or Jogger, but in Swedish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am Yanni the Yager.
The Yager.
Sprickens.
Do you remember which
Talio,
part-
you
what-
and I...
She's asking him a question real quick. When you went down into the sewers, where did you enter from? I've had my people searching, but...
Well, there's a place close to the, just kind of near where the runoff goes down the big wall.
The big what? You mean the cliff face into the maw?
Yeah, there's an entrance around one of the streets there. That's where I went in anyway. And then you walk for a while. They tell you to wear a blindfold. So I don't remember all the twists and turns, but you ended up in this big room, and you could hear dripping and water flowing. At least I think it was water, but it smelled real bad. And that's where the hooded people were.
So they're in a cistern in this. So they set themselves up in a cistern.
I guess.
Sounds about right.
Odds are, since your escape, they've probably moved.
Yeah, they had legs.
Indeed.
Nara looks away like,
This is my guy. Oh boy.
And you mentioned you called yourself Bait earlier?
Yeah, they were chasing me, so...
Was that permission to use him as bait, or were you just saying...
That's kind of what he was in that moment, more than anything.
I don't entirely understand it, but as long as I'm helpful...
Depending on how well his memories are intact, we might be able to pull enough information from him in order to scry on any kind of location, maybe get enough of a positive ID to be able to scry on people that are somewhat close to their location, especially if we know what's going on and what they are.
What bothers me more is the other rumblings I've been hearing.
Which are?
Deadeye activity in the area has been higher than usual.
Nara kind of starts at that a little.
Any idea what they might be here for? Or who?
Well, if they're under the command of their current leader, could be a number of things. Could be contracts. Could be specific resources. Given the fragile nature of its current hierarchy, I'm guessing they are in need of monetary resources to better stabilize themselves. And you have no shortage of enemies in the area, sir.
Who can afford the Deadeyes? That's the real question. Which
Give a
of
left,
my
they're
enemies?
always for sale.
Which of my enemies hate me enough to hire assassins and have the funds to do so?
They live up north. If you want my actual opinion on that.
No, I don't think that. We have enough nobles with plenty of deep pockets here with the Yumberry crop. Any one of those nobles could easily fund a Deadeye mission or two.
And granted, now what do you have the balls to come in here and try and pull it? Would he? He might. Aspen scratching his chin.
Finding him is going to be a lot harder. Any sample that I had, all of my Deadeye samples have long since decayed into nothing with age.
Further, there's.
But if I can still find him,
I'll have my people keep looking into this. We've spotted traces of their activity, though no active agents are currently known. With that, I know you made mention
Talia.
of wanting to visit the Undercity. Perhaps they've seen a few things.
Right. Gotta get all that prepared as well.
In the meanwhile, in an effort to flush out your potential aggressors, maybe crashing the meeting of the local business bureau council might be to your benefit, sir. I have agents tailing many of their members, but they're spread a bit thin at the moment.
Any idea where and when this meeting will be?
Same place and time it is every week. You would actually know that, like, one of the places that you kind of tend to avoid, this is maybe a meeting you've been to a few times over the course of the few years, but it's always so dry for you, where many of, like, the local business leaders would meet up to discuss the finances of the economy of the place, but you just kind of get the notes from Flicks later on, after, like, you know, showing up once or twice. But they typically meet at Loxley's in one of his back rooms, as he is ostensibly one of the business leaders of the town.
Fair enough.
Wolfgang, there's something else that I do want to bring to this group's attention.
That being?
We may have a potential threat to deal with.
Don't we always?
Says Pogan.
Fucking A.
I speak of Therodok Firefang.
That miserable lout who's in the prison?
Exactly.
Hey, is he in there again?
Well, according to reports, he was conspiring to have Lady Tia killed, or worse. Varies depending on who you ask, but the note you brought back with you from the future, the king took it very seriously.
Right, so imprisoned him for future crime that he didn't do yet.
Conspiracy is still a crime.
Acting upon a conspiracy is.
Yeah, I guess.
So here's the problem. He's pretty much at this point begging for death. But at the same time, he's so far gone that he's basically... When my last conversation with him, it did not go very well. And I believe that with the North planning on working on trying to make what they're trying to make, and him sitting there, he is a goodie bag waiting for Ramses to grab and use against us. The
In what
moment
way?
turn him into a dragon, turn him into a devil, turn him against us in any way, shape, or form. That man is a very powerful arcane innate. He may be dragon-blooded, but he is still exceedingly strong. And I believe that it only given a matter of time, unless time does the job for us, he will eventually become a major threat if he's given the opportunity to.
If you're asking to kill a man that, for all intents and purposes, hasn't committed a true crime, I would say that I am against it personally,
Pogan says, kind of like looking down. He understands that he doesn't have final say in like what has happened to him or what will happen to Therodoc. But it's clear on Pogan's face that he understands that, like, he had yet to act on the thing that they believe he was going to do. So he's conflicted, to say the least.
When we last talked, when I was walking away, Nara was still having a conversation with the man. I don't know what the best option is at this point, but I wanted to at least bring it to your attention, given how long he's been sitting there and how far he's wasted away. He's been on my mind a lot for the last couple days.
Yeah, he's
be
pretty ready
truthful,
to
at this-
die.
To be truthful, at this point, since I've gotten here, I've been threat assessing constantly.
Wolfgang is sort of tapping the desk with a finger, thinking. You honestly think that the North is going to try and scoop him up somehow?
They would be foolish not to if they get the opportunity. He basically fits their MO to every letter. Arcane innate that has been mistreated by the system. And he is just waiting to be tapped into. From either a dragon, to be turned into a dragon, or to be turned into a devil.
Wolfgang sort of squints a little and looks off into the distance. Dragon.
Why do you say it like
Dragon.
that?
Because he always likes to bury
what-
the lead when he wants to say something cool.
Talia does nod to
They-
that.
They all nod together with
Everyone
little
nods
smiles.
sagely.
Is
Soka.
is there an official sentence length for our friend?
From the
Friend.
the decree from the royal dragons, there is no determinate end to his sentence. He has been essentially like given to this town as a means, like given to your city as a means of finding information about, I mean, essentially Nidhogg. So it, like, right now it's very like nebulous as to like whether or not you guys should still have him, especially like, but I mean that whole situation has yet to be reported to the royals themselves.
Are we gonna just let him go?
You know, I was kind of thinking that.
I think that would be a mistake if, and Talia looks to Daenerys, if what Daenerys had to say about their last conversation is any indication. If he does mean anybody here harm, and he were to slip away, and were to make contact with those of a mutual mindset, it could be problematic.
Oh, he definitely means harm by now. The conversation I had with him, he is not our friend and will never be.
He would be a rallying cry to our enemies at this point.
More than a little.
It seems whatever time we had to potentially get him on our side was not spent doing so. ...
Say that again.
Perhaps not just let him. I'd like to speak with him.
Good luck.
Well, you're more than welcome to.
I think I may need to also speak with the dragons at Dragon's Rest.
If I may ask, sir, I know we're dealing with a lot, but how did your mission go? You said well. We could use some good news.
Wolfgang leans forward, sort of looks
Who's
around the
asking?
room. Huh?
Who's asking that?
Pogan. The dwarf.
Nara wants to inside him.
Go for it.
11.
What limited interaction you've had with this dwarf, he's always had kind of like a stern, if friendly, look on his face. The most you're getting out of him right now is stern and tired.
Okay. Fine.
Wolfgang knows Pogan to be a pretty straight shooter, so Wolfgang will lean forward. We were in my office, right? It's warded
You're
it's
in
warded
what is
from spying.
essentially like the council meeting room / your office.
Yeah, so and my office is specifically warded against scrying and divination.
Yep.
This doesn't leave this room until it becomes public knowledge another way.
Who all is in this room? Just double checking.
Nara.
The party.
Nara's
Yager
in the room.
So
Nara can't share this.
the party. Yager, Talia, and Pogan.
Right, forgot Yager was in here.
Yeah, Yager's here.
He's-
Just,
he- yeah,
just as a quick reminder.
He's just picking.
Hang on.
He's just picking at the scabs on his face.
Can we get him a bath and a meal, maybe?
Yeah, what do you? Yeah.
Oh, I've never had a bath.
Christ alive.
Nara again smiles
Whoever that
feebly,
is.
like,
I got him off drugs.
I see.
I've had
Legal
lots of...
drugs.
shoves him out with one of the guards, like,
Find him a bath.
Whoa, they were legal?
No.
she whispers.
I'm covering for you.
She just shoves him out into the hallway.
Basically, she just finds some guard to be like,
Take care.
Take the boots to him, medium style.
You get on my intercom. Can someone come collect the poor outside of my office?
oh my god. Wow. Horrible. Horrible.
They collect the poor.
Anyway, he's
and-
now getting a bath and food and being taken care of, you horrible man.
On my orders.
They collect the
Listen.
poor on your orders and take him to get fed and deloused.
There you
Yeah.
Ah,
This may
you
very-
socialist
may-
bastard.
go. I know. Heartless.
Nara's the reason
Feeding
the
and-
slums are in a better shape right now. Isn't that a terrifying feeling?
All right, the
And who do
room,
you
the room
work
is now
for?
more secure.
Wow. Changing
This may-
temperature right now.
This may very well become public knowledge relatively soon here. But for right now, it doesn't leave this room.
The two of them nod.
We journeyed to the Colossus caldera with our gifts in tow, our many barrels and baskets of food, and our supply of wine that we've confiscated. We met with Needhog. We gained audience with him. And upon administering a sleeping tincture into one of the barrels of wine, Needhog was fast asleep, drunk and drugged. We were able to delve into Needhog's dreams, and from there, we were able to purge the corruption not only from his psyche, but also from his body.
Lord of Light be praised.
What remained was Garrick Brightscale, reborn as a platinum dragon.
The look on Pogan's face goes from like, that's incredible, to no fucking way. Like his mouth just dropped. Like his mouth goes like completely agape.
A platinum dragon, sir.
Minor image to show him the picture of Garrick in the sky in full glory.
He stands up and gets a little shorter because he was at a human-sized chair. Wanders over to the image and gets further shorter as he kind of like drops to his knees a little bit, like looking at it.
How could that have been, sir?
Bahamut
Gigs are like takes off his hat and scratches the back of his head.
Bahamut was said to be the first creation of the Lord of Light himself.
There's a theory that I've sort of concocted about that. The energies of the crystal were able to suffuse Needhog with great power, making him
what he is. The Colossus Caldera literally transforming around him just due to the fact of being an ancient being a dragon. The environment shifted around him. In the absence of that crystal and the power in his blood, we believe that holy energy may have filled the vacuum, so to speak, in the absence of the corrupting influence of the crystal.
Talia actually speaks up. What exactly do you mean the power in his blood?
Okay, this part definitely doesn't leave this room.
Nara smiles.
He, like, sort of takes off his hat and, like, rubs his eyes in the back of his head. So, there is a greater than likely chance that Garrick Brightscale is my blood uncle.
Pogan immediately, like his jaw kind of agape, looking at the dragon, turns to you. And Nara, as somebody who consistently judges this person, I want you to give me an insight check on Talia.
Yes. 21.
Her eyes dart over in almost kind of like a nervous fashion, and you can see her like instinctively kind of like swallow as she like crosses her arms and like leans back against the wall.
I think
her composure quickly shifts back to that of neutrality, but for just a moment you notice those nervous behaviors shoot over her.
Wait, she had nervous behavior when she found out?
Yes. And you're the one that caught it.
I think Wolfgang would be so embarrassed that he wouldn't even attempt to register that.
I mean, there's a reason that I had Nara roll the insight on her, and it's because Nara is
Yeah.
consistently trying to read her.
All the time. All of the time.
Fair enough.
Oh,
But this is
shit.
the first time you've really seen her mask slip. Like,
Yeah,
at
I had
all.
a feeling. I have a feeling.
I just pieced it together above game. Oh, shit.
What do you mean you pieced it together?
So, Garrick Brightscale, being a
Asmo smirks when
Connolly-
you say his name.
being a Connolly, technically, by blood, has some form of divinity in his blood. And I think that might be how that happened. I will not be taking questions.
By the bright Lord's great radiance.
Yeah, one of Wolfgang's ancestors. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge,
All right.
giggle, giggle.
There's no need for nudging or giggling.
There
Hey,
usually
as someone
is.
who's, I understand that lizards or any kind of reptile are sexy. I know that. High five, Minara. Thank you.
She immediately, yeah.
Without even looking.
Yeah, didn't even turn her head.
I'm not sure, Mike. Never mind.
No, at this point, I just mark it off as mortals being fucking weird, Wolfgang.
Look, listen, my grandfather was a good man, but he was still fucking human, and he made mistakes.
And a dragon, apparently.
Apparently, the apple
He
doesn't
just
fall
sort of
far
covers
from the
his face
tree.
with both hands.
Well, your
You know,
secret's safe in this room, sir.
Nara looks at Talia while that's happening. While he said that.
Yeah,
Her face is once again implacable.
Of course.
Well, he doesn't know either. And so I think it's for everyone's benefit that the subject be broached when everyone is ready to.
Well, I won't speak a word of it
Good man.
until I'm allowed to.
you know, the more I
Just
learn
gives
about
Hogan a long stare.
He is in awe. Like this man is one of the most devoted to the like god of life that you know, and to know that there is that not only the lord of this town is essentially the descendant of his very avatar, but that there is now a dragon of similar lineage out there that you helped to bring into this world is... It's definitely the good news he had been looking for.
And that's how it went.
That's incredible. You lot made a miracle happen.
Well,
Be it through his divine grace or by your own.
Asma kind of like nods his head at Denier. I mean, we helped, but one person really did. And that'd be the shame, Cat. Because it'd be a damn shame if we didn't have him around.
Denier turns and looks towards Asmo, a slow tilt of the head. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
I'll take the compliment.
I feel both flattered, complimented, and insulted at the same time.
Now you know what it's like dating me.
I've seen inside of your head more than you can think.
You perv. And Asma winks at him.
All right, this is getting out of hand.
Okay.
The vibes in here, the vibes in here have gone rancid.
We should all get back to work. Plenty of dicks to kick out there.
Right.
I'll go reconnect with my people. See if we can find any more leads. And you're going to follow up with Theradoc?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will.
And with that, Talia will step back into the shadows and be absorbed by them.
How do we know when she's like fully gone?
You can keep making perception checks, but it does appear that, like, especially with your ability to manipulate shadows on like the metaphysical sense, you kind of get the sense, you above everybody else kind of get a sense that she's hopping through them.
Okay.
She's a shadow dancer. I gotcha.
Actually, I'm just gonna use message, so that I don't have to say anything out loud.
That would be sending, I think.
Is it?
What does message
No,
do?
there's
I feel
no.
like-
I have message. Point your finger towards the creature. Whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Okay. Then before she
It
disappears...
does have a range, though.
No, not before. I'm waiting till she's gone anyway.
Oh,
But
then she's gone.
to Wolfgang.
Something's up with Talia.
What do you mean?
Can I do this back and forth?
Is it?
You can cast it over and over again. It's
Yeah.
cantrip.
Okay, it's cantrips. So yeah.
Okay, it's a cantrip. So
Great.
When she found out about Garrick and you being related, she looked nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah. I've never seen a mask slip like that before. And of course it went right back up. But something's off.
I think Wolfgang will just sort of look at the place where Talia was.
the shadowy corner of the room. Pogan is just kind of making his way out of the room while you two are having this whisper conversation.
I'll let you know if we find anything else out too, sir.
Good man.
Blessed be your endeavors.
And he heads back out.
Nervous. Why would she have been nervous?
Talia is a half elf, right?
Yes.
Okay. Not a full elf. So she's probably not that old.
No, she's significantly older than you.
Would I know precisely how old she is?
Based on the
roughly?
fact that she's under your that she's in your staff, she's probably of similar age to Nara, being around a century, maybe a little older.
So she's nearly a century old.
Yeah. Actually, no, she's on your staff. You would know that she's 135.
100.
Oh, so she's a little older than Nara.
Yeah.
Only by like 10 years. That's like 1 year older.
Yeah, in elf years, she's essentially like a year or two
The
older
same
than you.
age. Yeah.
So for a half elf, she'd be like middle aged.
Yeah, kind of in her 30s.
And how long ago was my grandfather's murder?
It was when you were a baby.
I thought it was like a toddler because I walked into his office.
You were very, very young.
Mm-hmm.
Like just post-verbal kind of young. Young enough that you don't remember a lot of that time. You were old enough to have your power try to rip your body apart, and you needed to have a ritual cast upon you to better seal it within you.
Understandably, I probably don't remember a lot about that night.
Yeah, it's... These were different nights, mind you. Like, your power was sealed, then sometime later, your grandfather died, and everybody in town decided, you know what, probably best that we not be here. Like, clearly somebody wants this family dead. They just killed the patriarch. Let's split up.
Good.
Talia would probably be old enough. I think Wolfgang doesn't respond to that last little bit and just stares at the shadowy corner where Talia used to be.
It regards you shadowily. With that, what would you do next?
Probably prepare to go talk to Therodoc Firefang.
You get all your stuff together and you head down into the dungeon itself beneath the Kyum Diaboli. Who would be going with him?
Down to the sewer?
No, the...
Oh,
Therodoc.
Therodoc. I guess Nara would go. Actually, she's got other reasons for wanting to go down there.
Daenerys will go, but Daenerys will not be within Firefang's visual range.
All right. You make your way down into the dungeon. This specific part of it is a very long hallway. There are like cells on either side. It's where you keep like particularly dangerous criminals, those of arcane ability, or just in general, like this is specifically kind of like the high security area. You have another like prison system for like more low tier crimes, things like that, attached directly to the constabulary. This is for those deemed enough of a threat that they need to be under the watchful eye of the Kyum Diaboli. As you make your way down there, the various guards who were kind of standing at relative ease, though still being watchful, would be definitely stand up a bit straighter, knowing that the Lord's here. Oh shit, what? And as you make your way to the end of the hall, where the sealed door that holds Theodok Firefang, the guard there would stand up straight.
Sir, are you here to speak with the prisoner?
I am.
Very well. He's been quiet lately.
Daenerys, have you been messing with his dreams at all?
Negative. Daenerys gave it, after they had a conversation, Daenerys gave him one night of a really, really good dream to show what he's able to do for him. But after that, he's left him alone until a decision was made on his fate.
All right. The guard would work the door. The various arcane runes that seal it shut would begin to hiss and crackle with energy, and the door would unlock for you to then have the guard push open. And as the light creeps in from the hallway, glistening against the crystal bubble in which Theodok Firefang hangs, his destroyed wings draping down his now very anemic, kind of mangled body, his eyes would slowly begin to crack open and look towards the doorway.
Well, to what do I owe the pleasure?
And here is where we will end today's session.